really high-level basketball game. Um, they're number one for a reason, and they're um, like we stressed them. They stressed us. We got better today, even though they had two more points than us. Um, give had the ball last and made the play. Uh, so much respect for Rick. Um, the job that he's done everywhere he's been along the way. They have always been a winner, and you know what you're getting. That made our team better today. The game that was a rock fight. Um, I don't know if any two teams could literally shoot it any worse in the first half. Um, I thought that we were fortunate to be in a position at half with Tommy playing 8 or 9 minutes, Bam out of the game. Um, their Lanier got going in the first half, 17 points on 17 shots. I'll take that, most every single night. But and then I thought the couple of deciding things. I thought Milicic on the glass was really big. We let Gainey get going. We had a 6 point lead in a stretch where we didn't guard. Uh, what's number eight's name? Anyway, he hits a three, and then we lose Gainey right off a little floppy action, and he hits a three, and let him get his head up and get going. But uh, wish I had the last 5 seconds over. I would have called timeout and um, give Gainey credit. He made a heck of a play, but that's where this team has to continue to grow. And I've got to help them grow with communication. Ran a bad side out of bounds play, the one we always run. I didn't execute it, and you do those in the last couple minutes, you're going to lose to number one, and we did today.
Brad, can you take us through that last play? Were you close to calling timeout, or just what would you see when it was all unfolding? Because obviously it happened really quick.
No, I think it's just common sense that you want to call a timeout after a free throw so you can get your defense set. We always push like we did at the end of regulation to get there. Anytime there's 10 seconds or under, we actually practice, we push. KJ got fouled. So they just flipped it. I should have called the timeout. Point blank, I should have called the timeout after KJ made the free throw, game tied, got our defense set. And we weren't quite where we needed to be. And 5 seconds is a long time in a game that, you made the play.
Right, how much of the late game stuff do you think is youth related, new team? What do you?
That doesn't matter. That's on me. We've got to do a better job. We try to work on situations daily. It's hard to work on all of them. I thought we handled the other side of it pretty well. We KJ, Bam. We talk about getting it into the paint, getting fouled. They did that part of it beautifully. I never want to call a timeout on offense in that situation because I don't want to face a set defense or a change of defense. That side of it worked great. But again, you've got to execute and on both sides of it, and they did a better job than we did.
But Brad, your team 11 turnovers tonight only. Just want to get your thoughts on just how you thought they performed against that defense from Tennessee.
Yeah, they're no joke now. And I may be wrong. I think they've won every game by at least 15. I think they've beaten the brakes off people. And they do it because of their defense. And I knew it was going to be a really ugly game offensively, or had a feeling it would be. And because I think we're really good defensively. And, but it's the, 11 turnovers, pretty low number against them, but it's still, the couple that we had that you want back, we got to be able to clean those up. And I thought there was a couple fouls that could have been called, and I've never heard of that rule before that you got to be in a shooting motion if you get your arms swiped. Never heard of that. So I got to look that one up in the book. I got to send that one in to Terry and see what he tells me. But he said he was trying to draw a foul and not in the shooting motion, and he wasn't going to give him a call because of that. So I've never heard of that. I've done this 38 years. So, but yeah, we can't turn, that ends up being a turnover late, and we can't do that.
Kylan talked about communication. You talked about communication, helping them grow. Like, what does that look like from your vantage point?
Huddling, understanding what I'm thinking on the court, not always having to use a timeout. Kylan does a great job of it for the most part, and it's the winning basketball mentality is all it is, and it's the everybody knows what we're doing. It's working on those situations enough that they automatically know, hey, we're going to foul or we're going to do this, and it's I'm not using youth. That's not it. That's we've got to play at the level that we want to play at. We've got to be dialed into that, and I got to do a better job of that.
Brad, you forced 20 dribble jumpers today. Like, that's by far the most Tennessee shot this year. Like, how do you feel like your process is defensively right now?
It's what we do. It's what we do. We don't want to give you threes. We don't want to give you, catch and shoot threes. We're going to try to take them away. We thought we executed our game plan pretty well. We were, pretty soft on, Lakpara wasn't even involved, but, and then we just, Meshack had been 3 games. He's only had 3 games in his career where he's taken over 6 shots. I was hoping he would take 26 because we weren't going to guard him and clog all the other stuff up. So, again, they found enough from Gainey, but a couple of those were scouting report mistakes, and we'll get better at those.
Coach, with so many guys with 2 fouls there in the first half, what's your thoughts on managing that situation minutes-wise and balancing that with not wanting them to make a run?
Yeah, that was easy because the game was close. We were right there. If the game had gone, I bought Kylan a minute or two. Trey had a few. Tommy had picked up a couple of, just protecting the rim. But as long as the game was close, I didn't have to go much either way. I thought our bench did a nice job of fighting that, I thought that was pretty easy as long as the game was close.
You mentioned Tennessee's physical style yesterday. How did you feel you guys stood up to it, and what does it mean? Where do you carry that going forward?
Yeah, I actually thought that, and I just told our coach, I thought the Northwestern game was much more physical. The only difference was they didn't call any fouls for 18 minutes in the first half of the Northwestern game. And now we shoot 60 in the first half of this one. And, so that's all I told the officials going into halftime. Just call the second half like you called the first. But physicality is part of the game. That's Big Ten play. It's the common thread that we know we're going to get when you face Michigan State or when you face some of these big teams. And Rick's won a lot of games because his teams guard. And I don't care if you go back to Kevin Durant led teams or you go back to any of his others, TJ Ford and all those other great ones he's had at Texas. His teams always guard, and there's always a physicality about them.
How do you maybe navigate a half like first half where you just can't get any kind of rhythm offensively because of the start-stop nature?
Go to the free throw line 30, or would we go 20? How many free throws we shoot? I don't have my glasses. Go to the free throw line. I have zero control over what happens offensively in terms of shooting the ball, in terms of going in. All we did was live in the paint, and we got fouled. And I am so happy about that. That's the way the game's being called today. Have you guys ever seen a charge called anymore? So why would you just not be a head rammer and just drive the ball, and keep driving the ball until they call fouls? And if you do that and pitch it out, shoot threes. And so the game's never going to be pretty when it's like that. But if that's what it takes to beat Tennessee, we're going to do that. Gosh, you guys let me off easy. Oh,
Brad, I guess Stat Broadcast has you for 8 of 17 on layups. You just talked about their physicality and the way they defend the rim. You're going to see that in Big Ten play. Is that a product of how Tennessee guards? Is it concerning to you, or is it something that you've got to figure out how to finish?
Yeah, we got to finish. You can't get any better shot than the layup, and you got to be on balance, and you got to, I would much rather us get fouled than shoot a layup. I would much rather us, instead of going up there and throwing stuff, and I would just 2-foot jump stop and get fouled, because there's a negative reaction that has to happen on that other bench when you get fouled. So, but yeah, we got to make them. We got to make them. And, you shoot under 50% on the easiest shot in the game. So let's get fouled.
Two different situations, but the two sideline inbounds, the one that KJ had to get from the corner and the one that the pick six. Did you see anything like a common thread on those, or what was your vantage point on each of those?
Poor execution. Plain and simple.
Derek, this will be the last one.
Obviously, you continue to encourage Will to take shots, but is there anything you're seeing with him that he needs to settle into or to get going again after a really hot start to the season?
It's what happens when you get off to a really hot start and you start not playing 30-point win bye games. It's really simple. You start, I wish we didn't have to play any of those bye games and let them all be real games like this one. That's how you get better. And you don't build false realities. He's at the top of the scouting report. He's a great, great player. And I just want him to keep shooting open shots, because he's an elite shooter, and some of those deals are going to happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.